Hey everyone, we're here at the last set of constellations we need. We've done the wintertime sky, we've done the springtime sky, we've done the summertime sky. It's now for autumn. And we even did the circumpolar sky. So you've actually seen almost everything you can see from our latitude here at Penn Trafford for the entire year. So we need to do that last season, which is fall. So we've had to set the date to around November 5th. That way, around 9 p.m., you're going to see exactly what we're pointing out. But again, the constellations are always there. It's just that the sun is up and blocking your view of the stars when it's daytime. So these November constellations here, these autumn time stars I'm about to show you, will be the last set of zodiacs and other constellations that you can see during these fall months. So let's let the sun go down. We know the sun always sets in the west, so if we look over our left shoulder, we'll be facing south, and that's where most of our action is going to happen. And one of the first things you want to look for, kind of my guide for the fall sky, is the Great Square of Pegasus. It's basically directly south, around 45 degrees altitude or higher, depending on the time of the year. But you can see these four stars here make up the square of Pegasus, the horse. So those four make up the body, and then you have these stars that arch over here that make up the head, and you've got a few stars over here that make the legs of Pegasus. The bright star in that is this one right here, known as Marcab. So Marcab is the bright star in Pegasus, the horse. Now they don't have Pegasus completely drawn out in this. They don't have these two lines connecting Pegasus to make the great square, but that is the entire shape of the winged horse. So make sure you know Pegasus, because Pegasus is going to allow us to find the rest of our constellations. The way I find my next constellation is using the head of Pegasus. I come down to this little Y shape here. This Y shape is kind of my indicator that I found Aquarius, the water bearer. So Aquarius, I said, is this Y shape. You can see Aquarius spilling the water right here. This is kind of the head and body of Aquarius with his arms out here. He's got a leg down this way and another arm over here. It's a very long constellation, and for myself it's very hard to find. I usually never find Aquarius in the night sky just because it's so dark. And just to the right of Aquarius is Capricorn, so it means we're right in line with our ecliptic. Remember the line where the moons, the sun, and the planets all travel. Let's go back to the Great Square of Pegasus. So now that I'm looking at the Great Square of Pegasus again, if I take not the star on the opposite corner of Marcab, I'm going to come down over here to this V shape. I see a V shape here in the sky, and there's a tiny circle on this end of the V. So what we've got here is Pisces the fish. I've got one fish jumping out of the water, and then I have another fish jumping out of the water, with this star down here being the pivot point. So Pisces are the two fish that are jumping out of the night sky. There are no bright stars you need to know in Pisces, just know the V shape. Just to the east of Pisces is this bright star right here. This is Hamel. Hamel is the bright star in Aries the ram. Aries is kind of like Canis Minor, where it's more of just a stick, where this is the body of the ram, that's the eye of the ram, and here's the head of the ram. But when you look at the constellation that's drawn out here, it's really just this line of stars. That is Aries the ram. And that completes our last zodiac sign, because if I go a little bit more towards the east, towards the horizon, you're going to see our Taurus the bull and the Pleiades just rising right there. So we've now made one full circle in our zodiac, and we've shown everyone's birthday sign by now. So now you've got all the zodiacs. Make sure you know Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. In Aries, make sure you know the bright star Hamel. Coming back to the Great Square of Pegasus again, we use Marcab and the head to find Aquarius. We use this star in the square to go find Pisces and Aries, but now we're going to use this star up here to find Andromeda. Andromeda is the maiden that is attached to Pegasus, and it's another V shape. Stars go this way, and stars go that way. So when I show you the shape, the planetarium here doesn't give the entire V shape for Andromeda. But what's important about finding Andromeda is that if you can find this constellation, there's a Messier object right here. That fuzzy patch is the Andromeda Galaxy. That is M31. So why would you want to find the constellation Andromeda? It's because now you can find the Andromeda Galaxy, and the Andromeda Galaxy is in good view during this fall sky. The last constellation is just a little more towards the east of Andromeda, and it's kind of another Y shape or wishbone shape here. Here's the body, there's some stars out front, and then you've got this circular pattern of stars right here. What this is Perseus, and Perseus is the one that beheaded Medusa, and here is Medusa's head. Algol is the bright star in the constellation Perseus, and that is the eye of Medusa. So Medusa's head's here, and you can see Perseus's body leaning this way as he takes the head to save Andromeda. So that's it. You've got all the constellations for the entire northern hemisphere at our latitude here at Penn Trafford. There are many more stars and constellations that you can learn about, especially if you go towards the southern hemisphere and you start looking for all those shapes. So I hope you've enjoyed your tour of the night sky, and I hope this helps you find things when you keep looking up.